Hi everyone, my name's Caitlin. I'm guest relations at One Senior Place, and today I'm with the Ashar Group. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Can you tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you do with the Ashar Group?
Sure. I'm John Mendelson. I'm CEO of the Ashar Group. My family and I have grown up here in the Central Florida area for over 50 years. And our name Ashar Group actually came from one of the 12 tribes from the Old Testament. Um, when we started this business, there was not a lot of regulation around our market. And the name Ashar means do it as right and you will be blessed. And we felt that's exactly what our parents taught us and our grandparents had taught us throughout our whole life. So it's a perfect name for a company. And Ashar itself, what we do for a living is we help retirement age clients receive a cash buyout of their life insurance policy. So instead of ever canceling your life insurance if you no longer need it or you no longer want to pay premiums, instead of canceling it for whatever the cash value is, there are many times that we can help the client receive 2, 3, 5, 10 times more than their cash value. So that's really what our business is about. And I'll pass this over to my sister, Jamie.
Great. I'm Jamie Mendelson, Executive Vice President of the Ashar Group. I've been with the family business for over 18 years, so appreciate you having us here today.
Of course, we're glad you're here.
Jason Mendelson, I'm president of Ashar. Look forward to speaking with you today.
Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit more about Ashar Group. What's your key services?
Sure. So we spend all day, every day working with policy owners, their families, their businesses, maybe trusts or even charities that they're a part of, and help value their existing life insurance policies. And then, as John mentioned, for over 20 years, we've represented policy owners in sale in the regulated life settlement market. So pretty much to simplify that, there's an opportunity to sell existing life insurance policies, whether it's been enforced for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years in a secondary market. So the same way your viewers can sell their real estate, their art, their jewelry in a secondary market, and they expect there to be multiple bidders maybe on that piece of art or on their house, you can actually do that with life insurance. So whether it's a small policy or large policy, and maybe Jason will give us some more details on that, there is this opportunity before you ever cancel a policy to value it. And then our firm, as a sales side advisory firm, works to negotiate the highest value. So the same way your viewers might use a real estate broker or use an auction house to sell other property, we do that for their life insurance policies.
Wow.
We're commonly asked, why would somebody even consider selling their life insurance policy? Well, life insurance was put in place typically many years ago for reasons that just might no longer exist. And as they're looking at cash flow and clients are trying to determine could they use those dollars for other areas of their retirement or planning needs, life insurance is something to be considered. Maybe, it's just not needed today like it was originally years ago. One of the most common examples we have is when there's increased longevity in the family. And maybe the mother or the father has lived well into their late 80s and sometimes even 90s. We had recently worked with a client and she was 89 years old. And the adult children were really spread thin. Who's going to pay for mom's caregiving? How are they taking her to appointments? All types of needs that are really just everyday American needs when you have an aging parent or someone that's significantly in the advanced ages. What they looked at was she had a $500,000 policy, had very little cash value, and frankly, all the adult children were doing just fine. They weren't counting on that $500,000 policy one day. In fact, the premiums had become a little bit cumbersome for them, and they weren't sure, how they're going to continue to come up with them when they felt they had their own personal planning needs. Well, in that example, what we were able to do was take that $500,000 policy, value it, look at what the premiums would be, understand a little bit from the actuarial underwriting, how their mother was doing. And we were able to generate an offer for that $500,000 policy of $185,000. So their choice was, gosh, we can just keep this policy. But they kind of had that emotional tug of war of feeling as if they were almost betting against their loved one. And there was very little cash value in the policy. So they decided to go forward to sell that life insurance policy, receive $185,000 now, use that $185,000 to pay for their home care needs or to consider going into some type of residence and getting the best care for their mother that they possibly could. They worked with other types of professionals, such as those here at One Senior Place, to really make money not an issue, to ensure they had the best solutions for their mother. It was really a nice way to take this unrealized asset. It's almost like finding a painting in your attic that you didn't realize could have significant value, taking that and repurposing it to take pressure off the adult kids and to help their mother have the best type of lifestyle and caregiving needs as they move forward.
And now tell me, if a senior wants to liquidate their life insurance to fund retirement, healthcare, senior living, how would they do that? What's the process from start to finish?
Sure. So it's as simple as just filling out a few authorizations, some forms that really help us gather some information. And the senior never has to get examined. It's not like when you apply for life insurance, when you have to have blood drawn or get examined, nothing like that whatsoever. We take a look at any available information. That helps us figure out in literally day one or day two whether this might be a viable option for you. Could you receive more than your cash surrender value if you go through this life settlement process? Many of you might even see commercials on TV these days where there's companies offering to buy out your existing life insurance. We work with all those types of companies on our auction process, so they will still compete within this auction process itself. But the main goal here is we gather some information. Once we gather that information, we give you an idea of what it could be worth. If you say, gosh, that's a fantastic way for me to pay for home care, for other caregiving needs, to take financial pressure off my adult children, let's explore this. We then formally go through our process. And once you have formal offers, similar to what Jamie said, as if you were selling your home, then you can make a decision if you want to then contract and then go through the contracting process. We guide you through that entire process. We can work with your advisory team to do that, or your adult children, whatever is best for you. If you decide you don't want to move forward, then you have every right not to move forward, even if you receive an offer. So hopefully you can see it's a pretty turnkey approach. There's no pressure just to explore this option.
That's great. Well, obviously, this is a great service for seniors and their families. How are you liking it at One Senior Place so far?
I will say it's been great. I've been aware of your organization for years. I used to
Yeah.
do actually healthcare staffing. So I remember when you first showed up here on Douglas, but we appreciate the impact you're having on the community. We have parents that are in their early 80s. So the services that you provide, giving your viewers the opportunity to learn about these types of options that exist for them, that when they are solutions, creating hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars from an asset that they might have discarded. So I think what you're doing is so impactful, and how you've involved the community as well, with the people who are utilizing your services.
Hey, Aaliyah, do you want to come over?
Yeah,
Tell
come
them about
introduce
our
yourself.
marketing,
I
because-
appreciate it. So traditionally at Ashar Group, we partner with the financial services community. So our relationship with One Senior Place is focused obviously on getting the information out to the senior marketplace. And so, but my job at Ashar Group is to provide the education and tools and resources for both parties.
We're asked all the time who qualifies. It's typically seniors 70 and older who have life insurance they no longer need or want. Death benefit amounts 100,000 and greater. When we say greater, we've worked on policies 20 million and greater, and everything in between. I did have a senior who was 75. She was at home. She had a $250,000 policy, which she was going to cancel for zero, and we were able to get her an offer of approximately $125,000. It was a huge win. She was able to remain at home, pay for in-home health as well. We also many times have seniors who are looking to remain in assisted living facilities, senior living communities, and we know that this could just be a large win, which will allow people to remain in those residences as well.
Exactly. If there are other resident businesses of One Senior Place who have clients that are looking to pay for their services or healthcare services, caregiving, assisted living, that sort of thing, this could be a great alternative solution for them.
Thank you guys again for joining me. We're
Our
so
pleasure.
glad that you're here.
Take care.
Everyone have a great day. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go ahead and link their website and phone number and everything in the caption below.